Hi guys, Mrs. Cox here. I'm so sorry I missed our Zoom earlier this morning, but I wanted to take some time today to still have a little math and a little science lesson, so that's what we will do today. But before we get started, I wanted to show you guys something exciting. So we finished our last chapter book, right? And as I was looking on my bookshelves to see what I had that maybe we might start reading together, look what I found. I found a new Adventures in Odyssey book. So I thought you guys might enjoy hearing another one. I didn't even know I had this one, so that's exciting for me too. I forgot it was on my bookshelf. So I'll start recording these on Dojo, some new chapters. So today we're going to go over two things for math. We are going to go over telling time. And for science, we are going to go over different types of clouds since we talked about the water cycle last time. So we're going to start with math today. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Here it comes. All right, sharing my screen. And there we go. Okay, you should be able to see now. So we have a clock right here on our screen. And just as a review of telling time that we've already done, we know that this longer hand is the minute hand. And if you think about the words minute and hour, the word minute is a longer word. It goes with the longer hand. The word hour is a shorter word. It goes with the shorter hand. So the minute hand is the longer hand, and the minute hand, wherever it is pointing, tells us the minutes. The hour hand, wherever it is pointing, or whatever number it has just gone past, tells us the hour. So for example, right now we've worked a lot with o'clocks. So right now it shows 3 o'clock. If I move this around a couple of rotations, now what time does it show? Good, now it shows 5 o'clock, and we'll do one more. Now what time does it show? Good, now it shows 9 o'clock. Awesome job, guys. All right, so now that we have reviewed telling time to the hour, we've also worked a little bit with telling time to the half hour or the 30 minutes. So if my minute hand is pointing straight down at the 6, I know that's the 30 minutes. And for the hour hand, I look at whatever time it has just gone past. So the hour hand has just gone past 9. So this time would be 9:30. Awesome, 9:30. If I moved around a couple of rotations, my hour hand has just gone past the 11, and my minute hand is pointing straight down at the 6, so this would be 11:30. Great job. All right, well, I'm going to rotate this around a couple more. We're going to go back to, what time was this one? Good, 3 o'clock. Good. And today we're going to be focusing on telling time to the 15 minutes. Now, one more point of review is that when we do want to tell time with the minute hand, tell where the minute hand is, we know that we can count by 5s going around the clock to each of the numbers. So for example, if I have my minute hand pointing over here, I can start at the 12 and count by 5s to figure out what the minutes are. So let's do that real quick. Let's go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So I know the minutes are 40, and then my hour hand has just gone past the 3. It has not made it to the 4 yet, so it would be 3:40 is the time, just like that. All right. Well, let's go on back up here. We're going to work on telling time to the 15 minutes and some of the language that people use when we do tell time to the 15 minutes. Now, the first thing I want you to think about is the fact that a clock is a circle, right? And when we studied fractions, we split a lot of circles into 4 pieces. And in fact, a clock could be split into 4 pieces. Those are called fourths, or they could also be called quarters. I know that sounds funny. It sounds like money, right? And that's what you think of. But if it is 4 quarters, how many quarters are in a dollar? There's 4, right? And so 4 parts of a clock, each part is a quarter of the clock. So for example, let's go ahead and go to 4 o'clock, and then we're going to count by 5s until we get to 15. Ready? 5, 10, 15. So right now the time says 4, because it just went past the 4, 15. And so if you were to ask someone the time, they might say, well, it's 4:15. Or they also might say, it is a quarter past 4. The reason they would say that is because the minute hand has gone a quarter of the way around the clock. So if you think of the clock being split straight down the middle and being split straight across the center here, right? It has 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters. So they might say it is a quarter past 4. Try that phrase, quarter past. It is a quarter past 4. And that could be any time we get to the 15 minutes. So if I say it is here, so right now we know that it has just gone past the 6 for the hour. It is 6:15, or a quarter past 6. The minute hand has gone a quarter of the way around the clock. Now, similarly, when we start talking about the 30 minutes, people often use another phrase, and that phrase is half past. So if you think about it, the minute hand has gone halfway around the clock, or halfway past the start of the hour, which in this case, when it was the start of the hour, it was 6 o'clock. So if it goes all the way halfway around, it would be half past 6. So those are our 2 vocabulary terms for today. So we have a quarter past, in this case, a quarter past 7, 7:15, and half past 7, or 7:30. Quarter past, half past. Quarter past, half past. And whatever hour it is the hour that the hour hand has just gone by. So that's as far as we're going to go today. There is some other vocabulary that has to do with the 45-minute mark, but we'll talk about that one a little bit later. So be sure that you are working on your Splash Math levels today, or this week and next, and that you are focusing on time, because that's really going to be talking about that quarter past and that half past vocabulary, as well as just working on telling time in general. So that is our math for today. Make sure that you let me know if you need any help with that. I'd be more than happy to help you out. All right, well, the second part of our lesson today is going to be science. So last time we talked about the water cycle, and we learned 3 vocabulary words. Those vocabulary words had to do with the water cycle, and I'm sure that song is still in your head. I won't sing it and get it back in your head again, but I know it's still there. So our 3 vocabulary words that we learned were evaporation, when the water goes up in the air, right? Condensation, when the water cools down and then sticks together, forms clouds. And then we learn precipitation, So that's when the water falls down. Precipitation could be rain, hail, snow, or sleet. And remember, sleet is kind of that slushy stuff. So to help us learn a little bit more about clouds today, I'm going to share my screen one more time, and we are going to read a book together on epic today. So here's our book, and it starts out by telling us about the water cycle right here. So let's read along together. Water everywhere. What are clouds? Clouds are groups of water droplets. How do water droplets get up to the sky? It's all part of the water cycle. So here's the water cycle. So it may start in a body of water like the ocean. It will evaporate into water vapor, like we've talked about steam being a vapor, right? When the water goes up into the air. Then it will cool down and condense and become clouds, forming condensation. And then when the clouds get heavy enough, it will precipitate, precipitation, in the form of rain, snow, hail, or sleet. There's water all around us. It's in rivers, lakes, oceans, and puddles. The sun heats some of the water. It turns from liquid into a gas. This is called water vapor. The vapor rises into the cool air. So you can see the squiggly arrows there on the page, just like our squiggly hands when we were talking about evaporation with the water vapor. The cool air makes the water vapor condense, condensation. This forms clouds. The water droplets fall back down to earth as rain, hail, ice, or snow. The water cycle continues again and again. And we talked a lot last time about those different types of precipitation. Now, the water cycle also creates weather. So the next section is called Weather Ahead. The shape and color of clouds can tell you about the weather. So we're going to learn some vocabulary about different clouds. Cirrus clouds tell us it will be a nice sunny day. Cirrus clouds are high in the sky. They are wispy and thin. So to help us understand the different types of clouds, the first one is called cirrus. And I have some motions for you again. So since it's thin and wispy and high in the sky, we're going to take our hands and put them up, and we're going to use a high, thin, wispy voice. You ready? And we're going to go cirrus clouds. You do that with me? Ready? Cirrus cloud. Good job. So that's the first type of cloud. Stratus clouds are low and gray. They can produce rain or snow. Stratocumulus clouds can be gray or white. They form in sheets or layers. They look like honeycombs. So we're going to, the main type of cloud here is the stratus cloud, and it's the lowest one. So I know you can't see my hands, but we're going to go way down low, and we're going to bring our voice down low because they're the lowest. And we're going to stretch the stratus like a blanket because they're like the blankety clouds. So we're going to go stratus clouds. Can you do that with me? Ready? Stratus clouds. Good job. Cumulus clouds, these ones are my favorite. Cumulus clouds are bright and puffy. They contain ice and water droplets. Cumulus clouds signal good weather. So cumulus clouds are kind of in the middle, but they're big and puffy, right? Like big cotton balls. So we're going to put out our hands, big puffy, and we're going to go cumulus clouds. You ready? Here we go. Cumulus clouds. Good job. We're going to go through all those three main types again at the end here. Cumulonimbus clouds are tall, heavy, and stacked. They bring rough weather, such as thunder, lightning, and hail. Cumulonimbus clouds can also bring tornadoes. I think we've seen a few cumulonimbus clouds in the past few weeks, haven't we? We've seen some rough weather clouds lately. Praise the Lord that we stayed safe though. Clouds and hue. Go outside. Look at the color, shape, and height of the clouds. What are they? What type of weather do they predict? So before we meet again, probably on Wednesday, I would love to see you guys be able to just poke your head outside real quick and see if you can try to figure out of the types of clouds we talked today, what type of cloud are you seeing in the sky? Are you seeing a, you ready? Here's our chance to review all three types. Are you seeing a stratus cloud? Remember those high wispy ones? Are you seeing a cumulus cloud, the big puffy white ones? Or are you seeing a, oh, I said the wrong ones, I think. These were cirrus clouds. There we go. Cumulus clouds or stratus clouds, the ones that look like a blanket. So try and find out this week, and then let me know if you're able to. When we meet again on Wednesday, let me know if you're able to figure out what type of clouds you saw outside. So last page here, we just have some cool cloud facts that I wanted to leave you with. So here are our different cloud facts. A cloud can contain more than 1 million pounds of water. I bet you didn't know something that weighed 1 million pounds could stay up in the sky, did you? But it sure can. Cirrus clouds, remember, cirrus clouds, are sometimes called mare's tails because they are shaped like a horse's tail. Snow, sleet, rain, and hail falling from clouds is called precipitation. Water vapor weighs less than air. That's one reason clouds float high in the sky. So even though altogether they might weigh that 1 million pounds, individually they weigh less than the air, so they are still able to float. Then we have definitions of our different vocabulary words over on the other side. We had condense, which means when a water vapor or when a gas or vapor condenses, it becomes a liquid because it has cooled down. Droplets are very small particles of ice or water. Hail, a small ball of ice that falls from the clouds. And predict, we know about predictions. We did one of those this week with Grandpa's Corner Store. When someone predicts something, they say what they think will happen. All right, guys. Well, that's our little kind of mini lessons for math and for science today. So I love you guys. I hope that you got something out of this and that you enjoyed it. Go outside and check those clouds and see if you can figure out what they are. Make sure to let me know if you need any help with anything or if you need anything. I love you guys, and I will see you later. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.